I hope your week has been going well. It is Thursday, and we are heading into the weekend with another epic Titanic build today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me. So another action-packed Titanic build. We finish on the Lego side. We finish the connection of those two pieces together. So we get that other whole piece done, and then we also have some other connection points and some rigging. So super exciting there. And we start working on a couple of stand pieces to support the underside of the ship, so very cool there. And over on the scale model side, we just keep continuing with that forward boat deck and the bridge section, keep adding more of that wood decking, and we build some lifeboats and davits. A little frustrating on the davits at times, but it all worked out, as you'll see in the video. So let's get building, and then we can talk about it after. Here we are with issue 45. Oh, that's funny. There's some dolls, Kate Winslet and Leo DiCaprio dolls. That's hilarious. And then a Titanic board game. Oh, here they talk about the Lego Titanic. That's cool. So yeah, that's awesome. I didn't even know that. That's very cool. So yes. Amazing. Oh wow, it goes really in depth into the Lego portion. That's very cool. All right, awesome. So it looks like we are going to be doing some more lifeboats and some more decking, it looks like. All right, cool. So let's bring back, this is the piece that we have been working on in the last few episodes. And here we go with the parts for issue 45. These are nice. It has like more masking tape, so they're way easier to open. So that's cool. Oh my goodness, this looks very, very fiddly. All right, so obviously we have some lifeboats and some tarps for the lifeboats. We have, of course, our decking, and then we have, let's see, this is a winch here. And then we have these davit pieces, and I'm going to try to kind of organize them here. All right, so here are the parts laid out. So this is very tricky because apparently there are 3 different kinds of davit arms, and they have them laid out, and they're white parts, and then the parts are laid out on a white background. So it's very hard to tell, but it looks like, and I'm hoping that once we sort of get into it, it'll be a little more obvious. But there's 2 parts. These 2 parts are similar. They have notches on this center beam at the bottom that are perpendicular. And then these 2 pieces are the same, and they have the pegs following this angle on both sides. And then these 3 are the same. And then these pieces also are very, sort of very similar looking, but different. So there's 1 of this piece, 1 of this piece, and 2 of these pieces. And then we also have these, which are all the same. These are so let's just go over the parts really quick. So we have the lifeboats here, and then we have these lifeboat block gears. Then we have the lifeboat tarps. We have a winch. And then we have davit arm A, davit arm B, davit arms C1 and C2. And then we have davit base A, B, and C. And then we have our decking here. So actually, I'm guessing these two that the angles are different, those are going to be A and B. And then we have two of these, which they say are the same. So these are the same. And then three of these, which are the same. So yeah, that should be how that works out. So it's just going to be a matter of looking at the diagrams and figuring out like which angle we're going to follow here, because the pegs on these pieces go like this. These go like this, and then these are all on one side. So let's hope that we're going to be able to do this. All right, but the first thing that we want to do is attach some more decking. So let's see. This is going to go right in here like so. Perfect. So let's get that glued up. So I'm kind of going to just leave this here because now that I've got these sort of all organized, I don't want to mess them up. So let's get a little glue down. And again, avoiding the bigger holes, it's not that big of a deal because you can easily get the glue out. But for these little teeny tiny holes, I kind of tend to avoid those. So all right, I think that's going to be good. So let's see if we can get this backing off. And again, another easy one because we've got all these raised notches that is going to help you. And yeah, without any sort of, because there's so many of those notches, yeah, it instantly lines up. So I love those. All right, so that's going to be, I believe, the easiest part of what we're doing in this issue. Because next we're going to be getting into this craziness. All right, so it looks like first thing we're doing is we're putting the winch in, and it's going right here. And again, we've got our one peg is sort of thicker than the other. So that is going to go right. Remember, we have those lights underneath here, so I don't want to push it when it's on the table. So I'm just lifting it up and putting my finger under the part. Okay, so now it's going to get tricky. So yes, thankfully, when we get to assembling these, it's way more zoomed in and you can see which way things are going. So the very first one we want is this. Okay, so this is going to go in like so. And the one thing is nice, they do help you. Again, one of these pegs is thicker than the other, and so one of these holes is bigger than the other. So yes. So let me get my super glue, since we are dealing with plastic here. That is going to go just like so. So now we want to take one of these that has the double, and then we want to take the other one that has the other angle. So this is this piece here, and this one is going on this side. So this one, we're doing one arm on one side and the other arm on the other side. Alright, that should go in just like so. And then this one, I got a little glue on there. Alright, and that one is going on there like so. My goodness. These are crazy. So these are going to be the same. They're one of the little davits is going on one side and the other one is going on the other side. So let's grab this one first. Okay. Don't glue your finger to it. Let's turn these over. Right, and again, these are going to go in here, and again, they are the pegs are different sizes so that it helps you with the orientation. So those are going to go in just like that. So let me just get a little glue on these pegs. All right, so we got those on. So the next thing we want to do is take this and we want to put, I guess it doesn't matter which way they go. Fit the tarpaulin to each of the lifeboats and fit a block gear into the slots at each end. Do not use any glue at this point. So there are little tabs. Alright, that one went in pretty good. Okay, so that is it, and they are telling us not to use glue on those, and we're not, because I imagine we're going to be like hanging them in here at some point, but we are not doing that now. That is it for issue 45. So here's issue 46. Alright, so it looks like we're doing this whole thing again. Alright. For the other side. Alright, so let me just bring this back over, and we'll just set it this way. Alright, so having done this before, it's a little easier to identify the parts. So again, we've got 2 lifeboats and 2 tarps. We have the block gears, and we have the various davits that have these 2 have the opposing pegs. These 2 have the 2 pegs aligned with this center beam, and then these 3 have pegs on the ends of the little curved piece. And then down here we have these pieces. These 2 are identical. They have 4 holes that are all kind of separated. This one has 4 holes, but 2 of them are pretty much right next to each other and kind of joined in the plastic. And then this one only has 2 holes. And then we have our winch. And then in this one we get a little bench also. And then we have our deck piece. So obviously the first thing we're going to be doing is putting the deck piece on. So let's get that going. And then you want to just, again, make sure, double check you haven't got any glue in those teeny tiny holes. And if you do, just take a little toothpick and kind of scoop it out. Yeah, I love these ones because there's so many points, so many little tabs and things that, yeah, it's so easy to get it aligned. And the holes match up. It's just great. Love it. All right, so again, that was our super easy piece to do. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting in we're going to be making our little davits here. Of course, I forgot to put my winch and my bench. Where does my little bench go? Oh, it goes right there. That's cool. All right. Whoops. Okay, and again, we're doing the same thing with the boats. We're going to put these on, and then we're going to take one of these to not use any glue, so we are not gluing that. So that is it for issue 46. All right, so let's move on to the Lego side. All right, here we are back on the Lego side. So we were completing this hull section here. So let's continue on with steps 331 through 345. All right, that is the end of step 345. So we actually got quite a bit done here. We got the hull pieces all attached. So this is now definitely attached together. We got some rigging, some more rigging done. We got lifeboats, and then we started on one of the stands. So we will continue on with that in the next episode. So that is it for the Lego portion. Okay, so to recap, on the Lego side, we connected the two. We got this other side of the hull finished. We added some more additional connecting pieces, some rigging, and some lifeboats. And then over on the scale model side, we did our lifeboat. We added the decking. We did our lifeboat davits, and we also made some lifeboats. So that is it. I fear, like our Optimus Prime build, I am going to be running out of space, and I'm going to have to invent some new camera angles and things, as this is getting very huge. Although for the Lego side, I believe after next episode, we'll be putting this aside, and we're going to be starting to work on this part of the ship, so we won't need this. So it's kind of like starting all over with the middle section. So that will help us out there. However, on the scale model side, I think we're going to be running into definitely some space issues because this just keeps getting longer and longer. So that is it for episode 23. All right, another great video progress-wise. So let's do the summary really quick before we talk about the build. On the scale model side, we completed 14 steps and used 43 parts. On the Lego side, we completed 44 steps, used 129 parts. Total to date for the scale model, 296 steps and 551 parts. And for the Lego side, 652 steps and 2,692 parts. All right, so yeah, like I said, great progress. On the scale model side, we continued on that deck piece, getting the veneer on, and then doing the davits and the lifeboats. So yeah, the davits were a little challenging at first, but you know, got through it. It's always tough when the parts are small and then they're photographed on the same background color. Like the parts are white and the background is white, so it's really hard to tell sometimes the details, and especially when they all look the same. But we made it, and like I said, I just kind of time-lapsed that other half because we'd already done it once, so who wants to sit through it a second time? But the second time it did go a lot faster for me in real time, so that was cool. And then on the Lego side, we finally got all the connection parts done to get those two pieces together, and we started working on a stand for that front section. So very cool. So remember, Saturday, we're moving along with the Batmobile, even though it seems like we're going at a turtle pace. We're getting very few parts and very few steps per episode on the scale model side. But at least we have parts and we're keeping going. So that's good. And then, of course, I've been hyping up on Tuesday the Optimus Prime video. This coming up Tuesday will be the last build video for Optimus Prime himself. We'll be doing the final assembly on the robot. The final episode, the week after, on episode 24, we'll be doing some weapons. He has like an Energon axe and a blaster, and then he has a matrix of leadership in his chest, but then there's also a separate one that's bigger that he can like hold. So we'll be building those three things in the final build episode. But next week is the final assembly of Optimus Prime himself. So definitely check that video out on Tuesday. And again, I know I sound like a broken record, but remember, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It's totally free. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for watching the video. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future build videos. We're trying to hit those milestones to give away free Lego. We already gave away a retro record player. Next is a Star Wars AT-AT. And then at 1,000, we are doing the Endurance, which is a cool build. I already built my copy, so I'm excited to give a brand new in-box mint copy away. So definitely hit that subscribe button. And of course, until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.